Hey guys, welcome back. Today's episode we are looking at the Canons, the lower deck, as well as Jack's cabin. Okay, when we start to look at the Canon build, you can see this is step 6 out of the entire project. There are 32 of these Canons, and what I would suggest is doing this in steps. So what I did was I took I-10, 11, and 12, and I painted that first. I did a wood look on all of them, and I painted all of the actual cannons a base black, and then started adding up the detail. This step took a very long time, hence the word finally written at the bottom, because I think by the end of it I was really tired of doing it, but I suppose it's character building, and I think they have done the ship like this to make sure that you've got the patience required to continue with the build. So that really did try me. One of the things I would suggest you keep an eye out for is that when you are securing them, that they are glued in really nice and snugly. After working with them for a bit, you can, if you have a look here, they are quite finicky, and if those wheels aren't attached, they will pop off quite easily. So yeah, finally finished all of those, and once that was complete, you can obviously move on and fiddle with where they go, the positioning, and any additional things you may want to add to the deck in terms of scatter. So this is where I'm up to. What I have done is I have secured in the lower deck, and I have started adding some deck scatter. So I've made a few little bags of potatoes, a few little crates of goodies, and just some filler for that under deck. And the reason why I wanted to put that there is because obviously you're going to be able to see through the top deck onto the gun deck through the stairwell cutouts basically. So you're not going to see a lot of it, but it will be there, as you can see, and here. So what I have done is I have put in some lighting on that top deck, as you can see, and it consists of 3 baby LED lights, which I have secured and painted over just so that it's neat and tidy. And that will light up this gun deck, and you will be able to see through very slightly in the cannon or portholes onto and into the deck. And then what I have done is some weathering of the deck. This is the second coat. I've just laid down some colors just briefly, and I'm going to be doing a final wash and coat after this, so it does look a little bit rough. It was just laying out where I wanted the weathering to be and that sort of thing. So what I would suggest is take a bit of time on this gun deck, even though you're not going to see it, because it's really good practice for that final deck that you do. So you can practice all your effects and everything underneath here, so in case you make a mistake you don't do the same thing for the top one. And what I did do was I went and did step 8, which is putting those side panels on. They are quite difficult to clip in, but that asks you to clip this one into that one first, which I did, and then you've got these small little inside knobbies that kind of clip in. And the reason why I did that is so that when you look at the Canon holes and the Canons themselves, they are nicely centered. So if you had to do it without that, which is what the instructions recommend, I don't think you would get them 100% centered. And then what I have done is just start to paint the side walls just for completeness, but obviously that's just a base coat. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. And what I've done is I have fed through all the cabling out through the back of the ship so that it will connect just with one wire up into the little lanterns that will attach later. And then what I have done is I have, let me show you on this side, the wiring comes out through the bottom of the ship. Eventually it will go down into the stand, it will go down in the front part of the stand. And then what I've done is put in a little button, I'm not sure if you can see it over here, where you would literally just flip it on or off to turn on the lights. So easy access. It is all battery powered. I'm not sure you can see, but I've inserted the batteries underneath, so you will be able to change them eventually. And because it is obviously slightly raised off the desk now because of those batteries, I will eventually build a smallish box around it just to hide everything. But that is where we are at.